Alright, this is measures 1 through 8 of Bourree 2. And you'll notice in the beginning it has the word dolce underneath it. And dolce means sweet. So you want to make sure that all of this section is very, very smooth and has a really pretty sound, and that it's not rushed at all. If it's rushed, it won't affect what the composer Bach wanted it to. Okay? So listen to that first, and then we'll talk about a couple specifics. So, the first thing we need to talk about is in measure 1, the last two notes, you'll see some lines underneath the slur. We call those tenuto markings, and it just means that there's a very, very soft separation, if you see it in a slur like this, a very, very soft separation between the two notes, and each note is held to its full value, so they're not shortened at all. But you can still hear a slight separation, so instead of it being a regular slur, it's like this. So it's very, very soft. It's not staccato, right? It's just very, very soft. And you do that, again, with your first finger, but instead of it being a sharp bite, it's just a tiny bit of pause in between the two notes. So again. And in the next measure, you have 3 notes of slur and then lots of separate, but all the separates should still be very smooth, okay? And then you have 4-note slurs, and then another 3-note slur. And those are 3, okay? So that's very important. You'll also notice that we're in a new key with B flats and E flats, so make sure that all your 4th fingers are low enough, like for this B flat up here, are nice and low, and that your 1st fingers are low enough. And like we talked about in your lesson, you have F sharps right next to B flats, so you have to be ready to get those ready. So your B flats on your A string and F sharps on the E string, and so you're going to have low ones and regular ones. So like in this measure, so you have to an F sharp, a nice high one there, and then followed directly by and a low one, okay? So those are the main things in this section. You also have a place where you're going from an F natural on the E string to a B flat on the A string, and first fingers to 4th fingers are very difficult. So that takes some good slow practice. So you'll practice a lot of times. And it happens all on a slur, so you'll have to be careful of that as well. Okay? The only other thing is that in the next to last 2 measures, you have a crescendo and then a decrescendo. So here you're coming from quiet to loud, and then loud back to soft. And make sure every time you play the last note of this section that it's very long and it finishes nicely. So you never cut it short. So okay? Alright. Alright, this is measures 9 through 12, and the main thing you have to think about with this one is making sure your bow is in the right place. You have a long slur in measure 12, or measure 11, excuse me, and you have to make sure that you're already towards the tip before that so that you can have enough bow for it. So you can watch out for that when I play it this time. So you see in the 8th notes right before measure 11, I am working my way towards the tip. So like this, I'm already towards the tip, and then I have this slur on a down bow, and then I keep myself in the upper half during this part. And then a quick down bow, and then a long slur on an up bow. And then a grace note to a C sharp. And those last notes are a decrescendo, okay? So the main thing is getting used to distributing your bow and getting it up to the tip for that part. So practice just that section quite a bit, where you start right here. So practice just those two measures by themselves a lot, and watch to make sure that you're in the right part of the bow, and that you save enough bow and use your whole bow on that up bow slur. So save bow on the first part, and then spend your bow on the last 4 notes of the slur. Okay?